I've played hundreds of games on mobile, and these are my top 5 favorite platformers. This is Heartside, and let me show you some mobile games. Platformers have been with us since the NES showed us the way back in the 80s, and I think it's fair to say they've put their mark on just about every console since. But despite that, one place I never really played them was on mobile. Something about their imprecise controls and fast-paced nature always seemed a bit, ill-advised, especially combined with all the tactile feedback of a literal slab of glass. And having to look away from the action just to make sure you're even hitting the correct buttons leaves a lot to be desired. Which is why I was surprised when I decided to pick up some platformers again a couple of years ago and never once had the urge to tear my hair out. In fact, it was quite the opposite. Had all my touchscreen gaming experience finally paid off? Well, one upside of outright ghosting a genre is that you suddenly have a lot of games to catch up on. And one thing I noticed after binging way too many of them is that they are a lot better than they used to be. Playing many of the platformers released back in the early 2010s, even if the games themselves aren't bad, can be a truly painful experience today. Turns out, developers have made some progress since we were all still rocking the iPhone 3G back in the day. And they've done so in a couple of ways that I found quite interesting. For example, early mobile games loved styling their on-screen buttons, even if it meant they now also took up twice the screen space. Newer games usually favor controls that get out of the way and don't draw attention to themselves. The on-screen buttons are often also a lot more customizable. Newer platformers might also be more story-focused, or they might have automated a less important part of the controls, allowing them to put that focus somewhere else instead. Like how Mario runs by himself in Super Mario Run, for example, leaving you room to time your jumps more precisely. And even when they are kept, the on-screen buttons themselves have also gotten smarter. Now, buttons are able to move around depending on where you click, or they can smartly guess your intentions based on context clues or even previous inputs. So with all that said, I figured why not list my personal top 5 favorite platformers, to help out anyone else eager to see what they've been missing. So in no particular order, here they are. Something about HAAK is just so satisfying to play. Whether it be the incredible animations, the expansive levels, or the beautiful arc your body takes when an enemy manhandles you across the screen. In any case, I'm here for it. Downwell is one of those games that manages to feel completely unique, despite following a lot of established platformer conventions. But instead of traversing to the right, you always traverse down instead. And it's fascinating how much that little detail dramatically changes the rest of the game. Oddmar has some of my favorite controls for a mobile platformer, and it doesn't hurt that the game attached to them is one of the best on the platform either. If you play only one of these, this might be my recommendation. If you can't beat them, join them. Dead Cells is a very popular PC and console game that has an excellent mobile port. This one might warrant a controller though. And if you prefer witty dialogue and colorful nihilism with your platformers, Dadish is the game for you. The outright fantastic touch controls are just an added bonus. I purposefully stayed away from any cat platformers for this list, as I already did a separate list of just platformers starring cats. You can find that video on my channel if you didn't catch it when it came out.